This is the LowcoSports Lowdown podcast. Here are your hosts, Justin Jarrett and Wes Kerr.
Hey, Lowco sports fans, OG crew with you tonight. Justin Jarrett and Wes Kerr. Max Araj has the night off from this job, which is not really a job. It's more of a passion, I would say. But welcome to the Lowco Sports Lowdown. We're talking sports in the South Carolina Low Country. And after the long wait, we have a lot to talk about finally. Going to be more and more as it goes along because we still have pretty slow weeknight slates for right now as far as the non-revenue sports, so to speak. But we do have a couple of things to talk about tonight. We've got some golf. May River girls playing up at the Lady Bengal Invitational up at Blythewood. They're in the lead. We'll tell you more about that a little later on in the show. And had some volleyball matches over in Savannah. I haven't seen scores yet, but I'll keep refreshing and see if we can get those. May River in action, and I think Hildegard Christian as well over at one of the Savannah schools. So we'll check in on that. But more importantly, Coach Greg Langdale going to stop by, Colleton Prep football coach, talk about the win 16-6 over JP2 on Friday night. Big win for those guys to start off the season. So we look forward to talking with him. He's always a great guest. But and then a programming note real quick. We'll be live 9:30 p.m. every night this week. So that's the schedule for the fall. We're going to be 9:30 each night. It'll be Lowco Sports Lowdown Monday through Thursday. And then 9:30 Friday night, we'll go live with the Lowco Pigskin Live. This week, I will be launching it live from Hurricane Sports Cafe in Hampton. And we'll hopefully have correspondents out at least 3 other games, maybe more, where we'll be able to do the 2-minute drill starting at 9:30 and check in from around the Lowco. So looking forward to that. Everything we do here presented by our all-star sponsor, back for another year, just confirmed it tonight. Mickelson Law Firm, our original sponsor, presenting sponsor of our Hilton Head Christian Academy coverage, and the official real estate closing attorney of Lowco Sports. But they can serve all your legal needs in downtown Bluffton. Mickelson Law Firm, our original sponsor since 2017. We appreciate them coming back for another year. And if you want to join the stable of sponsors here at Lowco Sports and support what we're doing, please get in touch. We'd love to have you. Starts at just $50 a month. So love to get you in there. Wes, how you doing, buddy? How was your weekend? But more importantly, how great was it to be back on the Friday night grind?
Oh, man, there's nothing better than that first Friday night of football. Whoever you happen to be, it's always an electric atmosphere, especially for, obviously Buford Academy played already, but still, the home opener going for that first win, so a lot of energy in the crowd and on the field. And Hilton Head Prep, I thought, showed themselves very well despite the convincing win for the Eagles in that contest to open the season. But terrific crowd, excellent night of football, and weather wasn't too bad, for this time of year. And they hooked me up with some great food before the game.
Oh, I bet they did.
I tell you, on Friday night, I got some pork tenderloin or steak tenderloin sliders that they were grilling up there.
Oh, yeah. That sounds phenomenal. That sounds absolutely phenomenal. I did not. I just indulged in a in-market hot dog up in Walterboro, so I can't say that I really had good game day food. We were kind of scrambling to get up there and get back. So it was an in-market hot dog for me.
And
but yeah, they always bring it.
The grill master out there who was cooking everything up over on the sideline.
Yeah.
But they do a great job with that. And the entire atmosphere, PA announcer gets into it. He's always energetic. He does a great job. Cheerleaders did a great job, and the football team showed out for sure. Especially this was not a cakewalk against the Hilton Head Prep team that came in with a solid game plan, and I thought they executed well until BA made a couple of plays. And I look back to that interception by Underwood on that diving play where I'll tell you what, tough one there for Hilton Head Prep. But, the defender made a play, and sometimes that happens. And all of a sudden, it can energize, especially when you're at home, feed off the crowd, energize the defense. And they kind of were able to charge after that point and really set themselves up well. But Hilton Head Prep, I still liked a lot of aspects of what I saw. I like to compete. I think Coach McFadden is going to do a great job here. So, certainly didn't show itself with that scoreline, but I think Colleton Prep has a great chance of producing a strong effort and maybe pulling out a win at home this coming week against St. Andrews, which is a big game for them. But great to see BA get back home after a tough start against a solid first opponent that a week ago, and now you get back and get that first much needed win. So great to see Nick Shuford back over there on the sideline, and a couple other games we'll get to later on. But just awesome to get into it. Fall sports season officially underway. Season 6 of the Loco Sports Lowdown podcast. This has been a while, and
wow.
I'll tell you what, it is a lot better than that very first one. I mean, just production level, the content compared to when we were first meeting on a Skype call and doing version, much more improved. And credit to all of our guests who have made it even better as well.
That's funny because I was just telling my two things that you mentioned there. Coach Shuford called me today. Called me and said, "When the heck did you become a teacher?" And I said, "Well, today. Today was the first day of school, so I guess today would be the answer to that."
Awesome.
But we had a great talk, and he said he was tuning in on Friday night, listening, and then he was about to tune out, and then we said we had a special guest coming. So he stuck around to see who the special guest was, and it was his son. He said, "How we live in the same house? I didn't even know you were going on the show." So then he had to stay around and listen to see what Dietrich had to say. But and then the other thing, you talk about how rough those first podcasts were, and we thought it was great what we were putting out. It was as good as we could make at the time,
right?
But we just keep chipping away, making it better and better.
Yeah.
I told my students that today. I said, "Look, at some point here in the next week or two, I'm going to give you a project, and you're going to make a video, and you're going to think it's good and you're going to be proud of it, and you should be, but you're going to look back at it at the end of the semester and go, oh my God, I can't believe I thought that was good. That's terrible." Because you're going to learn that the devil's in the details, and the more little things you can tweak and improve, the better it gets. So, that's our challenge in the classroom is the kids are excited, man. They want to produce stuff for Loco Sports. I already got a couple students who are going to be out there shooting Hurricanes highlights for us. So I'm very excited about that. That's going to be a fun addition to my life for sure.
By the way, you're going to be out there. I don't know if you mentioned this at the top, but not sure if you mentioned this at the top of the show, but you will be over at the Hurricanes Sports Bar, Hurricanes Sports Cafe. Yeah.
Live at Hurricanes at 9:30 Friday night. That's the plan. They already gave me the go ahead. We've pulled off the live show out there before, so we know they have the capabilities. So I'll be posted up there and looking for reports from you guys from all your games, and then holding court with whomever I can get on there with me until you guys get free to jump on and talk at length. So looking forward to that Friday night, but we got a lot of things to do between now and then. We got some today. Well, we had some volleyball over the weekend as well as tonight. It's hard to track down scores from these tournaments because they play so many games and they don't all get posted, but looked like a mixed bag, which is kind of what you expect. Bluffton picked up a couple of nice wins. They beat Blythewood and Union County. Looked like May River and Hilton Head, the matches I saw scores for, they had a tough time. But I have not checked back in today. It's been a busy day. So we'll check in on that, see how the volleyball teams are doing. But Coach Langdale should be joining us here shortly. And I was going to shout out a few sponsors before we go any further. We've got the MVP sponsors, Megan Jarrett, the official realtor of Loco Sports, and my wife. She'd love to help you find your place in the Loco or upgrade to a bigger, better place in the Loco. If you want to get into the real estate market, do it with Megan Jarrett, the official realtor of Loco Sports. Got Homegrown Home Inspections, our official home inspector, Jan Lucas and his team, the best in the biz. And if you're building a new home, you got to have that phased inspection from Homegrown Home Inspections. Make sure it's built right every step of the way with Homegrown. And Hospice Care, the Low Country official hospice provider, and they provide palliative care, hospice care, free grief counseling, and much more. And they're a great community sponsor, community organization here at Hospice Care, the Low Country, where it's not about dying, it's about living. Looking for Coach Langdale here shortly. looking ahead to, or looking back to last week, I guess we'll leave that one alone for now, the Colleton Prep game, because we'll get into that in some depth with Coach Langdale. But Hilton Head Christian Academy, a very interesting team to say the least. After putting up 33, Reed McCollum having an absolutely ridiculous game, and I'll read you the stats momentarily, but they gave up 63 to a Porter Gadd juggernaut. So it's just kind of like, I mean, it's going to be a question of how many people can they outscore until that defense rounds into form, and it's going to be really interesting to see them in Battery Creek this week.
Yeah, that's going to tell a lot about both those squads. And Hilton Head Christian Academy, this is a team that does a fantastic job making adjustments as the year goes on. So giving up the toll that they did in that first game, it's a process for producing that team. I'm not worried about the defense going forward as the season goes along. That's a pretty good Porter Gadd's offense they faced to start the season. So, certainly a lot of losses from last year will play a part in it. But at the same time, I think this group is going to, the coaching staff does a great job. I mean, we've looked at all the state championships that they have won in the past, and it's never been smooth sailing. At least maybe some of the years it's been more so of that with the potent offense that we've seen. But the defense is always, you've had stars throughout the years, but you've always had to overcome different challenges. And, I expect the coaching staff to do a great job of making fine-tuned adjustments throughout, especially when you get to see tape against a solid team. All right, this is what we need to do better. These are the looks that we need to kind of adjust towards. And so now is the opportunity where they really make their money is let's figure out what we need to do better as we progress through the season. So I'm not particularly worried about this defense yet. I expect a better showing to get to Battery Creek, although this is a Creek team that I think has very high potential and upside heading into this season. And we talked about on the show before, but Coach Susi and his team, they were on the cusp of picking up a couple more wins, just unable to finish off a couple of games that they were competitive in. But it's a great kind of measuring stick game for both of these teams. I mean, I expect Hilton and Christian Academy to be the better squad, but this Battery Creek team, you can never count a team like that out with the coaching staff that we've seen really instilling, presenting that hard-nosed effort on that group, and a couple of players that would love to prove themselves early on that Creek side. And I think Hilton Head Christian Academy is going to go out wanting to rebound, get that first win. And for Reed McCollum, I mean, everything you'd want him to show in that first game, and even so much more. You got the stat line in front of you for Reed McCollum. He was by far and away the player of the game.
It was pretty crazy. He was. I don't know if you'd go player of the week just because they didn't win.
He's done a losing. It was losing effort. I'm not going to say
that's going to be the tricky. That's going to be the tricky thing.
Right.
But his numbers.
We only
are
had 3 games.
Crazy. Right. 29 of 38 for 365 and 2 touchdowns with 1 pick. 20 for 152 rushing and a touchdown. It's pretty crazy.
Goodness, that's a good debut for his first game under center as the starter.
We'll watch his highlights later on, but we've got Coach Langdale here with us now, so let's get him in here. I'm sure he's got to get to bed, get up early tomorrow. What's going on, Coach?
Oh, not much. How y'all doing?
Doing good, man. It was good to be out at your place on Friday night and back under the Friday night lights. You guys always have a great atmosphere, and dang, the whole dang town turned out. You guys did it up big. You had the Weehawks and everything, just trying to blow out opening night, only game in town. How good did it feel to be in front of that home crowd?
Oh, man, it's great. It's always a great environment there, though. Get all them Weehawks out there and all our cheerleaders and everybody in town. It's always great when there ain't another game in town, so they got to come. But that's almost every home game for us. Those crowds. We have great support out there. Everybody comes out to watch us play. It's a great environment every Friday night.
Yeah, man.
Fun. You guys have one of the best atmospheres in Skiza and in the Low Country right there. So love watching these Colleton Prep football contests, especially on your home field. Nothing like that first game, and nothing like that first win, picking up a really solid victory, 16-6 over John Paul II, a tight game to start off the season. So, what did you learn from this new look 2024 team after
we got
one
a little
game?
fight in them?
Yeah, gotta get that cleaned up, right? Yeah, fighting. Just super proud of them because you don't know what to expect. So much that we had to replace from last year. We lost 14 seniors off of last year's team, and coming in, we only returning really one starter on offense that's in the same position. We had two more that started last year, but they had to change positions this year, and defensively about the same thing. Only returned about 4 starters there. And we're so young. So, and I know we're going to learn. There's going to be growing pains with these young guys. There's going to be ups. There's going to be downs. But like our big question was, how will these young guys respond when those Friday night lights come on? They're being thrust right in. We had, I think we started 14 of our 22 guys were freshmen or sophomores starting and making their first start. And, so it was like, man, how that's what we were looking to learn. How are these kids going to respond? And so the first test, I thought they responded really well. We'll see what they do game 2, 3, 4, and on down the road. But for test number 1, they passed, but got a lot of room to get better. And those young guys, they'll learn from it, and they already have. We've watched tape, and they're seeing their mistakes that they made, and but they'll get better.
Yeah. You had to be especially encouraged with it being such a young group. You got punched in the mouth early. Kid made a play, ripped the ball out, gave them a short field. They punched it in. And with a young and experienced team, you had to be a little concerned that could start to snowball. But man, they bounced right back and really, especially on defense, they bowed up and played really tough. So you had to be impressed with that resilience, to deal with some adversity early and fight through it.
Oh, definitely. Because I mean, concerned. I mean, that's stating it lightly. I'm thinking we about to get boat raced here. I mean, we turned the ball over and they just sliced through us like butter right down the field and score. And I'm like, holy cow, we're gonna have to score 50 to win tonight. But just great job. My brother Jeremy's defensive coordinator, and I mean, quickly, boom, we got to make these adjustments, put them in. We got to move a few things around, try some new things, and immediately he said we got to blitz a lot tonight, and so changed the game plan kind of on the fly, which was something we didn't have film on John Paul because unfortunately for them they had all their scrimmages got rained out with the storm, so we kind of had to base stuff on last year and all that kind of stuff. So we had to.
They're not the same team,
right? No, Christian Hilton's no longer there, and so a lot of unknowns.
Yeah, so we're kind of like, okay, we kind of can go by last year, but not really. And so I thought he did a great job defensively, just adjusted on the fly and kind of changing up the game plan almost after the first drive. And I thought they did a good job defensively. Did a great job defensively.
Walker Bryan also had a heck of a game too. 18 for 106, and you saw the one long touchdown run that he broke off that kind of was the difference in the game. He's the one guy who's coming back to the same position, right? Or no, he moved back there to take Caleb's place. That's right. Correct. That's right. Yeah. So but he looked tough, man. He runs the ball tough.
Oh, runs it great. I tell you what, I'm so excited for him because he's been. He was one who came in as a freshman and really was competing for the running back job as a freshman. And, then we kind of moved him around a little bit to slot because that's where he fit our team best for the next 3 years. But, I mean, we knew all along, he's a really good running back. We knew he was a good running back. And I'm so proud of him because he was patient. He waited his turn, didn't go pout, didn't go played his role at slot. And did everything we asked him to. And I couldn't be more proud of him because, he's finally getting his shot at running back. And
by the way, he had 11 tackles too. Carried it 18 times and had 11 tackles. That's pretty good. Pretty good night.
And forced a big fumble.
Yeah.
Those are the guys that you love to see bringing on both sides, especially that same kind of power intensity to the defensive side of the ball is guys you love to see. But defensively as a whole, I mean, locked them down after the start of this game was a little rocky, as you said, but talk about that defensive line, and it seems like you guys have always had such a strength up front, really on both sides of the ball. Would really describe how your defensive line in this game anchored that rally and come back and kept you guys in front.
Yeah, and, it's like say they got through it to us pretty early there, and Coach Jeremy was like, hey, we got to go to blitz some more. We've got to. So he really kind of challenged those guys they had to be tough up front to allow our backers to get in there blitzing, and they were going to have to force double teams and try to do what they could to let those linebackers go free. And I thought that's where I thought they did the best job, just keeping those linemen off our backers so that they could play and freed them up. And, because, we had a couple of freshmen and sophomores down there, trying to play that defensive line for the first time. Had a freshman and a sophomore who started there one at tackle, one at defensive end. And, so I thought they did a great job, responded well. To do what Coach asked them. And I thought the big key was we kept forcing them into 3rd and long. And, we were able to stop the run enough, to get them in 3rd and longs, which really paid off for us. Because then they were, I ain't saying they were forced to put the ball in the air, but they did. And we were able to get 4 picks, at our secondary. So I thought the defense.
Yeah, I didn't realize Hartman Fisk had 3 picks because I left at halftime, had to get back home. But I was impressed with him in the first half, just his aggressiveness, the way he closes out on the edge. Like, there were a couple times they threw little quick outs to the flats to the Sanders kid, who unfortunately ended up getting hurt. But he's pretty dangerous. And Fisk, he closed up that gap in a hurry and put a hit on him every time. I was really impressed with him. He looks like he's going to be the real deal.
Yeah. Defensively, he was definitely the standout. Had a great, just an unbelievable game. He's just an athlete, and he's just he's a gamer. When the lights come on, he was like one that we were like, when the lights come on, we think he'll be fine. He'll adjust. And sure enough, when the lights come on, man, he was ready to play.
He was.
He was had a little edge to him. A little bit. Calm him down a little bit. But man, did he have a great game defensively. And
you'd rather have to dial him back a little bit than have to try to ramp him up,
Exactly. But yeah, he just had, definitely player of the game on defense, just did an unbelievable job. And he had, I think he ended the night with 1 catch and about 25 yards rushing for us on some jet sweeps. But just the job he also did out there blocking for that receiver position. Really, was really impressed more when I broke down the tape. At how well he did out there blocking from that receiver spot. But he had an unbelievable game. Did a great job.
Yeah, I was impressed.
A lot of standouts for this Colleton Prep team in that opener, and a lot more excitement to come. And I am just pumped to see how this region plays out over in Class 1A Region 2, because you got yourself, Patrick Henry, Thomas Hayward, Buford Academy, a heck of a group of 4 squads from the Lowco over here competing with each other for those top spots in what should be a fantastic region race this year. But tell me about what you think about this group of squads right now. Obviously, Patrick Henry, your defending state champions, Thomas Hayward bringing back one of the best athletes in Skeeza, and then Buford Academy with a strong victory last week. So your thoughts on this region and what you guys need to do to give yourselves the best shot competing against these teams?
Well, just going to have to play sound football. That might be, you don't forget Andrew Jackson and Faith in there as well, who had a good game this past week. I haven't seen anything on Faith, but I know Andrew Jackson had some really good athletes.
Right. And Faith beat him. And Faith beat him, so that caught my attention.
Right, exactly. Because like I say, Andrew Jackson come to our 7-on-7, and they had athletes, and I'm like, oh boy, throw a 5th team in there who could. This region is tough, and now Faith beating them. It's like, oh boy, now we got 6. Great. But you're right. As far as the Lowco teams go, man, to me, this is when it's fun. I mean, this is awesome.
Yeah.
You know, every week when you go and it's just a matter of who's going to play the best ball, because you should have no problem getting your team up every week.
Right.
You know, because hey, every win, I mean, one bad game could take you from first in the region to fifth. You know, if you just have a bad half or something. Because these teams are so loaded, just like you said, Patrick Henry, I mean, defending state champion. So, you know, they're going to bring it. And, you know, Buford always, you know, with Nick down there, always going to be a well-coached team and play hard. And, you know, and you know, we ain't going to say nothing about that guy down at Thomas Hayward's. I ain't going to say nothing that gets him mad. Okay. I don't want him having no bulletin board material.
No bulletin board material for Mr. O'Banner.
Yeah, because we got them too.
Mr. O'Banner. We'll put some respect on it.
That's right. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, that guy, you know, he's and that whole team's good. Now it's not just him. That whole team's good, but he's special. He is. I mean, you know, you just watch him over the years. You know, unfortunately, we didn't get to play Hayward the last 2 years, which is kind of a rival of ours, which, you know, wasn't good that we didn't get to play him. But, you know, you see him on tape and it's like, whoo, boy, I don't know how we're going to tackle him. We're going to try, but I don't know how. But
special is a good word. You need more than one hat on the ball. I guarantee you that.
Yeah.
Don't rely on anybody tackling them by themselves.
That's right. When you get there, you better have a few of your friends with you.
That's absolutely right.
Yeah. So
Coach, Coach, what is a player like Cole Davis coming through here? What did that do for your program, and how has it helped this next crop of young guys realize what it takes to compete and win in Skeeza, and what kind of example did he set for this particular team here as you have this whole new younger group coming in looking to get to his standards?
Yeah, you know, I think for me, you know, like I say, I'm entering my 6th year. I think it goes back one player sooner. I think when you have a Drew Murdoch who comes in and kind of who kind of takes Cole under his wing, so to say, and say, this is how you do it. This is the weight room. This is what you got to do. You know, in my time there, it was, you know, the first one was Drew Murdoch getting in there and showing what it is to be a Warhawk. And then Cole following his lead. You know, Cole was just, you know, he was different in that kid lived in a weight room and could find a way to get every player in there. It was like, you know, you didn't have to say, you know, it was like Cole's like,
he had the Riz.
Yes.
He had the Riz.
Yep, exactly. We'll all be down there. We're going to weight room. And he, you know, he was special in that he'd go around and just get kids to play football. Come on, come play. Yeah. You know, he was special, and everybody, like I say, saw his work ethic. You know, a lot of people on Friday nights would see him run a football or see him pass football or make tackles or whatever, and they would say good athlete. But the coaches got to see the work he put in the weight room and out on the practice field. And I said, I guess it was about 2 weeks ago, he was home and we were out there practicing and he was out there running sprints and went into the weight room and lifting out. I said, y'all see that? And this is his week off. You know, I said, that's what it takes. But that was the example. He comes and talks to them and gets some of them, goes in the weight room. So what he has set, you know, has just been unbelievable for our program. But all those guys, you know, have followed him and watched him and saw what he did. And they know what it takes if they want to get to the next level. He left them the blueprint. You know, it's follow that blueprint. So, you know, and there was a lot of special ones in that class, you know, those couple of grades that came through. But, yeah, he was definitely a special one who helped mold, who kind of left the blueprint for these kids. Hey, these younger ones, hey, this is what you got to do. And
he's still writing it. He's still writing it. I mean, bet on himself, walking on in Alabama, and you see where it goes from there. Do you have any? I assume he'll sit this year and redshirt and learn. And see where it goes.
I talked to him Saturday night briefly. You know, I talked to him quite regularly. He's still having a little bit of things with the knee. Not like hurt. They just hadn't quite cleared him yet. So if I had to guess, he'd be redshirted this year. But you know, hopefully he can get that knee cleared and get on the practice field. Because, you know,
where do they like him? Where do they like him on the field?
Oh, free safety.
Yeah, I figured as much.
Let
him run down. I mean, he's Colton Ferris from Buford, who's doing that at Appalachian State. Physically, they're about the same guy. I can definitely see that at the next level. Definitely got a good nose for the ball, understands he can read the field as a quarterback. So, I love that for him. We don't give them a lot of love, but we got to give your kicker some love. Connor Nettles showing off the leg the other night. What was it, 47?
47, yeah.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, well, look, he hit 60 in practice, so consistently.
Good night.
Hey, we've had a couple of. I remember, I believe it was against Colleton Prep, but Trevor Weldon, a 50-yarder.
Yeah,
Prep.
If I remember right, that game they beat us 6-0, and he hit a.
They hit two.
It was 2 field goals decided it.
Yep. That's right. I remember that.
Yeah,
but Nettles is Connor. Does he aspire to kick at the next level, and is he getting some looks?
Yeah, definitely. And he's getting some looks. No, not really. Getting a couple of little small offers right now, but I think the more
kickers are different. There's not a lot of offers out there for kickers much. It's kind of like,
well, you got to earn your
come on,
right?
Come on, and let's see what happens.
Try to kick your way on the team.
Yeah. I think a lot of schools are interested. Just going to kind of wait and see. But I mean, he has the leg. I mean, it's like I said, we like a lot of times, like you'll sit there and he consistently hit 60-yarders, in practice, consistently, and I mean he'll sit there at 60, 65-yard punts like ain't nothing to it. So just a booming leg. And so like last night Friday night, I'm sorry, when it came up and it was 47. And of course I was a little upset at Kale. I got to get on him a little bit, but that's my boy, but you can't take a sack there. I don't know what he's thinking. So I had to get that straight on film this morning, make it 5 yards longer, but I guess he just wanted to set up Connor for a little bit further. But, I mean, when that situation came, everybody's like, I said, all right, field goal. And everybody's like, that's 47. I said, well, he's got the leg. It'll just be a matter of, if we can get the hold and all that. But so I had confidence he was going to make it, distance wise for sure. And but his accuracy is pretty good too. I mean, he's dead on. So that was a big field goal for us.
I can tell you how much important it is to have a good kicker at Skeeza, which could be the
changes the game.
Oh, definitely, especially kickoffs too. I mean, you get them things in the end zone and make a team start at the 20 every time. But that's a deadly weapon.
Huge difference.
Make that field long. They got a good kicker over at Hilton Head Christian, Ian Kelly. He made 2 long ones on Friday. And how about, did you get a look at the quarterback over there, Coach?
Reed
McCollum?
I have. Well, I've seen and heard. So that looks like they got a good one.
They got little guns. They got a gunslinger over there. That's gonna be fun to watch.
Had a few of them over the years.
They keep coming, don't they? You guys got St. John's Christian at your place on Friday, right?
Correct. Yes.
That's always a sneaky tough game. That's always that.
What do we know about
it?
The weird thing about our schedule this year is we don't have anybody on our schedule that we played the last 2 years. And then the weird part is we don't hardly play anybody that we had a lot of film on from last year. A lot of times you see these teams because common opponents and you see their film. Right. So, basically what we're looking at is, their game from Friday night and, maybe a scrimmage they had and things like that. But
they played Pinewood on Friday?
Yes, correct. Yeah, they played
Pinewood. I'm not sure how much you can really glean from that. That was probably a mismatch a little bit.
I tell you what I can. They got a couple of them that can fly. So, I mean, that jumps out on you, the speed they have. But, everything I'm seeing on film, they look really well coached. They look, disciplined. Got good. I'd say they got good size, but everybody we play this year will have good size against us. When your offensive line averages 170 pounds, everybody's big. So everybody will have size against us, but they look like they have good size and, and they do the little things well. So, once again, it's going to be a fun one because it's one of those, go out and play good. You got a chance to win. If you don't, you might be sorry.
If you're winning with guys my size on the line, you're doing a good job, Coach.
Well, somebody told me this week. I think it was my offensive line coach. He said, "Well, we got to start feeding them because we're averaging 170 across the line." And I said, well,
we got to find some ground beef on sale.
yeah, we got to find something. We got to beef them up a little bit. But I'll tell you what, I mean, they get after it. They do. And
tough.
And that's
tough
the thing.
Kids.
Yeah, and that's the thing that's great about them is they're kind of wearing that chip on their shoulder, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, I know Carter Sims over there, he's every time, oh, call me small. Go ahead. Just call us small. Yep.
Now, Carter Sims is.
But he'd get after it, won't he?
That's 170 pounds of rock solid, and that dude's a wrestler. So, I mean, he's got the heart of a lion. He's going to play way above his size. I guarantee you that.
Oh, yeah.
You put wrestlers on there, they play bigger than – you go look at a 170-pound wrestler on the mat. He looks like a dude. So,
well, his partner beside him's a wrestler too, Casey Warner.
All right.
They're both on the wrestling team, so they ain't afraid to get in the trenches and mix it up.
Now, when do we get the little Warner? I met Penn Warner on the sideline, the ball boy. He's a little tank. When's he coming up?
He's on middle school this year for the first. He's a sixth grader, so he's
all right.
His first middle school action this year. So he gets to quit being the ball boy and strap on the helmet and play a little bit. So
he's got the Riz too, right? He's got the Riz.
Oh yeah,
he's a little. He had the baby Gronk look going the other night. So I can tell he had the Riz.
Yeah, he's gonna be a good one. That little fella can play some nose.
I tell you what, he's thick.
Hey,
the lower half,
the wrestling
man.
helps you on the football field, right? There's a
absolutely
strong correlation there. I mean, have you made an effort to get more kids on the mat, or with the coach?
Oh, you got Coach Castle on the sideline there.
Yes, sir. Well, Coach Castle tries to get them out there, and he does, fairly. But most of our football players, they tend during the winter months to go play basketball.
Sure.
So, I think we've got, I want to say 3 on the football team that wrestle. But yeah, I try to get all my linemen to go wrestle. But
we got to get those numbers up. If you're not out for basketball, you got to get out for wrestling.
Well, that's the thing. Most of them, I mean, there's almost all of them play basketball. So it ain't like they're doing nothing.
Fair enough. We'll take it. Well, hey, Coach, thanks so much for staying up with us tonight. We appreciate you, and thanks for the hospitality whenever we come your way. We hope to see you guys again soon.
Oh, yeah, we appreciate everything y'all, too. I tell you, I mean, the boys were even talking about it today, saying something about, I mean, they bring it up all the time. Well, Lowco, we check out Lowco, and this was on there. So the boys really, really appreciate it. We all do. We appreciate all y'all do.
Hey, we appreciate what you guys are doing over there.
All right. Thank y'all.
Yes, sir. Take care. We'll see you down the road.
Thank y'all.
All right, Coach Greg Langdale from Colleton Prep. Always great to talk with him. Great dude. See him around at a travel baseball tournament from time to time too, or an all-star tournament. So just a good dude. And man, he's done a heck of a job up there with that program. Obviously really it helps when you have guys like Drew Murdoch and Cole Davis, coming through. And Cale Owens looks like he's going to pick up where they left off. And they've got some guys who are going to run the ball.
They're always a really hard-nosed team, and they will work you, especially on defense. And that's kind of what we saw in that opening game. And I don't know if it was you or Max, somebody picked JP2 to win that game. And,
I started to, but then I reversed course, and I remember that was the first game of the year. Colleton Prep's always good.
And then
I reversed course.
Prove the case again.
I was having regrets for a minute. When Sebastian Sluisny ripped that ball out and they sliced down the field and scored.
JP2, talking a little about them, that's another team with a lot of, holes to fill, especially with losing a guy like Christian Tilton. But Sluisny looked like a guy who can really take charge on offense. And they kind of hung in there in that game. I thought the defense kind of stood tall at points against Colleton Prep, although the Warhawks were really able to control things down the stretch in that ball game. But I'm still optimistic about Coach Milligan and what that team will do. They have a tough one, though, at home this week against
they do.
Yeah, Lawrence Manning. That's
Lawrence
tough
Manning
one.
On Thursday. That'll be Thursday night at 7 in Hardyville on the turf field. I'm still optimistic about them too. As Coach Milligan pointed out, they threw 4 interceptions, lost 2 fumbles, turned it over on downs once, and have 5 personal fouls. So, those are things you can control. And so I feel like, like Coach Langdale said, putting them in 3rd and long was key. Young, not super young, but inexperienced quarterback, and they put him in some tough spots where he had to try to force something to make a play, and their defense was able to take advantage. But he'll learn from it. They've got a pretty good rushing attack. Bryant Jolly he's solid. He gets downhill. They got a good fullback leading him. They're pretty good up front on both sides of the ball. So I think they're going to be okay. Sluice needs an animal on both sides of the ball. He's really developed into he's gotten a lot bigger and stronger. He was always a big kid, but he was young and he was still kind of, soft, like still kind of developing. But he's a dude now. He's a truck. And I'm telling you, that first play he made on defense where he ripped the ball out was impressive. And it looked like they might kind of steamroll them because they were the bigger, more physical looking team off the jump, but Colleton Prep kind of matched them, after that initial series and went toe for toe with them. So, I think JP2 is going to be okay. I think the schedule's tough though. Like you start looking at it, there's not a lot of sure wins on there. They're going to have to scrap for every one. So, I don't know. This is his 2nd year. I don't know
Christian
the
Kenny,
results.
First Baptist, Palmetto Christian, and Pinewood Prep's always very strong. That's
Palmetto Christian, you would think should be a win. First Baptist
is down. They're down.
That they have to kind of hope to win. They need to win that one probably. So they have some games that are like if you're gonna
just got to be one.
If you're gonna take the next step, you got to win a couple of these. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but you don't want to go 2-9 again either.
Right.
So
yeah. You want to increase that win total, and get into the playoffs. That's the first step. But as you said, 2 of those games are winnable. I think Palmetto Christian, First Baptist are target games that you have an opportunity to win. Hilton Christian, I still think HHGA is the better team right now, but maybe JP2 will show us that they could be more competitive. And I believe did they play one? They played twice, right? Is that
they played twice?
Yeah, they played twice. Yeah, so that'll be interesting too.
That's gonna be fun.
Approach, especially the first one, you don't want to give too much away, or especially if it's an unreaching game, because the second one's the one that counts. So we'll see how they kind of maneuver that one.
Exactly right. Still no volleyball scores from tonight. I was just checking. Let's go ahead and shout out the varsity sponsors. DDS Web Design builds, hosts, and maintains websites for businesses and nonprofits to get results. So if you need to get found online so you can do more and think bigger, go to ddshhi.com. Parker Law Group serves legal needs across Colleton, Hampton, and Jasper counties, and they've helped us continue to expand our coverage in those counties and shine a light on more deserving teams and student athletes around the Lowco. Dr. Ambrose Cole is the official chiropractor of LowcoSports, so you can find him at Rooted Living Wellness in Bluffton, where he'll get you feeling right, mind, body, and spirit. And Reverence Wrestling Club, our official wrestling sponsor and presenting sponsor of the Lowco Grind. Take your skills on the mat to the next level at Reverence Wrestling Club. And as you mentioned, Wes, we have some golf scores. Checked in with Coach Campbell over at May River to see how they were doing, because I saw they were starting off today at the Lady Bengal Invitational hosted by Blythewood Columbia Country Club. May River went out and shot a 308. Their goal this season is to get under 300. So they're only 8 shots away from their season goal already. And Coach Campbell said they left some shots out there, all of them. So they feel like they've got a shot to do it first tournament out of the gates, break that 300 mark. So we'll see. But they're up by 14 shots over Mountain View Prep and Chapin after the first round. Round 2 tomorrow. Claire Green with a 70. She's in second, 2 shots behind Caroline Hawkins from Blythewood, who's probably the best girls golfer in the state. Robin Zatror shot 75. She's tied for 6th. Haley Zhao with the 80 and Ava Cunningham with the 83. So really good opening round from May River and what we expect from them this season. It's an incredibly talented roster.
The veteran group at the top. Claire Green has been a star out there. No surprise we see her posting scores that she has continued to put out there. And then Robin Zatror, another really steady competitor with a solid 75, sitting there at tied for 6th. And I mean, Claire Green right now, just Caroline Hawkins is, as you said, one of the better golfers, if not the best, in South Carolina. So to be right on pace with her through one round, that's certainly doing something for sure. And then you got to 80 and 83, not too bad behind those top 2 of Caroline Cunningham. It really comes down to those those last few for a squad like May River, who always has the top heavy talent. I think they're going to be right there in terms of one of the better teams in 4A, with the way that those studs continue to produce out there on the course. And I think it's always great to have a team like this that can pace these other Lowco area teams, because it was a while ago it was always Hilton Head or Bluffton. May River has become the gold standard in girls golf, and they have proven that by multiple state titles for the last few years. And the same story is looking like it could happen again here in 2024. We'll see how some of these other teams do once we get into the season. But it looks like May River, once again, is the team to beat, especially in the Lowco, and maybe statewide, especially if Green and Centura put up solid numbers like we see we think that they could.
Yeah, no doubt. We'll check in with them again tomorrow night, 9:30 p.m. live on the LowcoSports Lowdown, and we'll see if they're back back safely in the Lowco. We may be able to get Coach on to talk with us. I do know that we already have one guest lined up for tomorrow, so I can let you know about that. We've got Coach Luke Dyer, USCB men's basketball assistant coach, going to join us. They had a big camp this summer. They wanted to come on and talk about that and just talk about the upcoming season. So we never say no to Coach Dyer or Coach Fudala or Coach Versip or
that's coming
Coach
up.
Grogan or
that's coming up soon. Just almost 2.5 months away from year 2. The Lowco.
November, baby. We're getting to it. It's going to be here very soon. But we do have some more football highlights to go through. We saw the Colleton Prep highlights while we talked with Coach Langdale. Here's your highlights from BA, where it was a big night for Nick Underwood and Dietrich Schuford. Underwood, 2 touchdown runs, over 180 rushing yards, 2 picks. He's a dude. Came over from Battery Creek. Makes you wonder what could have been there this year.
Yeah, I'm sure the Dolphins would love to have him back, but it is Buford Academy's gain this year is his loss, and he was running all over the place and just really talented athlete. That first interception was some crazy athleticism, and then he picked up another one on a throw to the end zone there from White Armor. But Hillhead Prep battle, they looked really good on this first drive. Got it inside the 10, and all you're thinking, like, if they can get one here, we got a bowl game. But unfortunately, it wasn't to be. How about this connection right here with Fripp?
Baby Dev.
Devin Fripp. Oh, look at those speed to the end zone. Great.
He can move, dude.
From the pockets from Dietrich Schuford, and then Fripp doing the rest there. Long 65-yard touchdown pass. BA.
So that was right after the pick in the end zone.
Yeah,
right?
huge swing in that ball game, because that was the second score. And a nice active hands on the tip and interception by this BA defense, which forced 4 turnovers in that first half of football. So once it kind of got going in that first takeaway, BA was able to really get the pedal down when it came to their defensive prowess in this ball game. But
that's
offense doing as well. Look at that hard running by Underwood.
He's got good hips. Yeah. He's got good hips, man. He keeps the feet driving and pivots the hips. It's nice. I like to watch him run. He's a good kid too. Really like talking with him.
Another budding star, especially after losing 2 guys from the past few years in Green and Porter. I mean, how valuable were those 2? And now you're looking for someone else to really, kickstart the offense, and found it so far with Nick Underwood, who's doing it on both sides. So, Dietrich Schuford, we knew he would have it in him. He has been around the Lowco for a while, whether it's Thomas Hayward or BA, but it's nice to have that reliable running back, and it seems like they've always had one over these previous seasons, where they have been in contention after they, it's only been a few years since they made the jump from 11. They were an 11-man team not too long ago.
Amen. Yeah.
They're a perennial contender in Skiza 11, 8-man to 11-man rather.
Yeah, right on. Yeah, because Coach Clifford came over. They had not had much success at all, and then Coach Clifford came and they moved up to. They won the state championship that year. Came up to 11-man, and they've assimilated very well. I think offensively they've got a lot of weapons. Offensive line needs to come together because they lost a ton. Alex Williams was really the anchor, and then Eddie Gonzalez went to Whale Branch, and Warren Benjamin went to Bluffton. So, they lost a good bit there. I think they'll get better and better, but I think they will be they'll have a little bit of trouble against, like Northwood blew them up on the line. And I think the stronger teams will, but I think they'll be able to fare, well enough with the smaller programs. So it'll be interesting to watch them though. They're electric on offense. They've got some serious weapons. And as long as they can get away playing some of those guys on both sides of the ball, they'll be okay. I think that's part of how they got into the injury trouble last year is they had a lot of Iron Men going both ways, and that takes its toll. You're going to have some guys get banged up when you have to do that. So, but sometimes you just don't have a choice. If we want to be competitive, it's what we got to do. So, but I think the guy who kind of stole the show on Friday night was Reed McCollum, and we've got some Hilton Head Christian highlights here from Buford's Zone. McCollum. First series here, showing the wheels.
Look at that.
He's a tall drink of water. He's a lot to handle.
Big guy out there.
Reminds me a little bit of Gabe Gilmore out there. Gabe Gilmore, a long time ago, the quarterback.
And he's got an arm as well.
Look how long he threw that thing off his back foot. He was on his back
that was
foot.
Off balance. He threw it off balance right near the end zone. That is something you don't see every day in Skeeza. He has that.
In anywhere. I mean, that's a big time arm. It's bigger than I even realized.
I am salivating over what this Hilton Head Christian Academy team can do when it comes to October and November, especially once the defense finds its footing, because this guy is making big time throws already. And he's just getting his feet wet. This was his first start.
And then this is nice right here. I mean, showing a little touch too, rolling to his left. That's not an easy pass.
Yeah.
And
he made some.
He floated it just
big
right.
Big league throws in this ball game.
Well, and it's so effortless.
Yeah, and he's able to evade pressure there, throw downfield. I mean, he is making this thing look very easy. And
Harry Cunningham had a game too.
Yeah.
They
keep churning out guys out. They keep churning out some nice position players as well.
But they couldn't stop that triple option from Porter.
Oh man, Porter Gowd. That's always a strong offense to go up against and put them on in this first game. A tremendous offensive shootout to start off the season between these two teams. And for Hilton Head Christian Academy, you walk away this one being very excited about Reed McCollum because we saw him play on defense last year, and he is looking like an even better guy on the other side of the ball on offense. And maybe he'll play a little bit deep, but as we mentioned last week, I think it makes perfect sense to keep him.
Yeah, I think you reserve that for when you really need it. But no doubt, I mean, he was their top returning tackler. I mean, he is quite capable of being a game-changing player on the other side of the ball as well. But my goodness, look at that throw.
Whoa.
That is – and I'm telling you, and it looks so effortless. It's so smooth. He just steps into it, and then he's going to be a problem on that goal line, going Cam Newton on him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be fun to watch, man. 2 years of this guy. Joey Haupt there, the younger Haupt, getting excited. That's good stuff, man. I'm excited for that team this year. Battery Creek DBs better be playing center field. You better stay behind the ball. Keep it in front of you.
It could be another big show for McCollum in this next ball game against the Dolphins, but I'm excited to see how Hilton Head Christian Academy's defense fares and how Battery Creek approaches this game because, once again, a program.
Well, they're fired up. I've exchanged
in the high school ranks.
I exchanged some messages with both Coach Susie and with Chase Olson, the quarterback, this weekend. And Coach Susie, he's optimistic. He's really happy about their guys and the work they put in. And he's really happy that they're healthy. They're healthy. That's key. So, I think they're going to be. I think Battery Creek's going to be a little bigger, faster, stronger at most positions. I think that's kind of expected. They're going to have a little more athleticism, but not everywhere. and I think Hilton Head Christian, they got a pretty finely tuned system, and if they allow McCollum to pick them apart, he will. So they got to get pressure on him. I think that's the biggest thing. You got to get pressure on him, and then you got to contain him when you flush him out. Somebody's got to be there.
That's what makes it difficult for those strong mobile.
Now that's where right. I think Creek will be a little better equipped to defend that than some of their opponents will, because they're going to be a little bigger in the middle of the field,
right?
And a linebacker and in DB ranks. No DBs and skis are having a good time trying to tackle Reed McCollum one-on-one.
Great opportunity though for Reed McCollum, to go up against a defense like what we could see for Battery Creek, and it's going to be a challenge for him. I expect him to put up another big performance. We'll see how it compares to this first week of action, but I'm sold already for what he could do, and this could be an important statement performance as you go along in this season, because this Creek defense, they're going to have some mojo. I expect them to be you're playing your home field. If you're Battery Creek, you got the home crowd behind them, electricity first game of the season. It's going to be an interesting one. I think Battery Creek's going to come out hungry and looking to really prove something in front of their home crowd. First home opener is always an emotional, electric atmosphere. And Battery Creek, they got the pep band, the fans, student section. They bring the noise. I've been to some Creek games, and they love the Dolphins over there.
Oh yes. The band is terrific. I love the band at Creek. They always make it a great atmosphere. And that new stadium, the renovations they made over there,
I love
fantastic.
Over there at Creek.
It's really made it a great environment on Friday night. So Max Araj will be over there for that one, Hilton Head Christian and Battery Creek. I'm going to head out to Hampton, check out the Cougars and the Hurricanes, and then I'll be live from Hurricanes, and you're going to Whale Branch Bluffton. That should be fun.
Hayden Gregory and those Bobcats against a very interesting new look Whale Branch team, Jerry Hatcher squad. Lost a bit from last year, but I'll tell you what, the energy and the commitment from those younger guys, it translates. And Whale Branch is going to put up a solid fight over there in Bluffton, although Bluffton has some new faces too. So I'm excited to see how both of these teams look early on.
That's another young quarterback stepping out of the shadow. He played a little last year, but mostly sat behind Owen Bays and Aiden McCarthy. He looks like the real
McCarthy.
deal too.
I was impressed with
I like him a lot. Yeah.
He's now good. It was throughout a few games, and just in different moments where the game was over, essentially finished up in terms of the score. Time. But it was kind of thing. But I mean, he has a great head on his shoulders, and I was impressed by the way he just absorbed what was going on in the field and did a great job of communication. And he just looks the part of a guy who's going to step in and thrive in this Hayden Gregory offense, which is predicated on more of an air raid passing style of offense, but at the same time you're trying to make do and make the best decision possible in terms of the quick screens as well. Although he's had some quarterbacks in the past who like to gun it deep, and we'll see if McCarthy fits the mold of some of those other guys that we've seen, especially Von Hohenstraten a few years ago. Bays was Bays is a little different. He was more of a mobile guy, and kind of a not as aggressive as Von Hohenstraten was, but he still loved to throw it deep from time to time. I'm interested to see what McCarthy will do in this Hayden Gregory style offense. Of course, Jared Karkoff no longer there. He's no longer there. Correct. Yep. So we'll see how this Bobcat team fares, and what should be a very wide open, although Buford certainly can have their debates on their chances, because I think they have a great chance of winning this thing in this region. But Bluffton's going to be right there as well, and I'm looking forward to seeing the first showing of this Bobcat team. Hayden Gregory's done an excellent job through the first couple of years, and now with this opportunity, with no more Lucy Beckham, James Allen, a chance to compete for a region crown, I'm excited to see what this team will look like. And They have the great opportunity to pick up a strong first showing. But Whale Branch, they always travel well on the road. They bring their fans there. They have a good representation there. I kind of feel like.
I think Whale Branch is going to be tough this year. It's a tough matchup for them with Bluffton. That's
you're playing a 4A team.
They're biting off a lot there. Yeah, they're biting off a lot there. But I think they can be competitive in this game as long as they limit the big plays on defense, and they're very good in the secondary. They're very strong there, and then so they can't give up big plays. I think they need to try to limit Carnell. I suspect they put Dayon Brown on Carnell and give him safety help over the top and try to really shut him down. Put Bowers over the top of him, maybe even try to take him out of it and make somebody else beat you. And Bluffton's got other guys who can beat you. Don't get me wrong, but I think you just have to make somebody else do it if you're capable. If you have a guy who can kind of put Carnell on an island a little bit, or at least try to limit him to just a handful of catches and not much run after the catch, you got a shot. So I think that'll kind of be their game plan, and whether they can execute it is yet to be seen. They're real good up front. Whale Branch offensive line is exceptional. It's going to be real strong. They got some big boys to run behind. They got some guys who can run it. Shady Harris is going to be tough. Zoe's going to get to run it some. Zaire Polite, they got some guys who are athletic back there and can hit a hole. And then Bowers, he's got a big arm too, and he's got another year of seasoning, and I think he and Dayon Brown are going to have a nice connection, and they got a couple other guys who can stretch the field. So, I think it'll be one of the more versatile Whale Branch teams we've seen. They're usually going to slam it down your throat. I think this is going to be a little more versatile team. And I think they're going to be tough, and I think they'll come out and fight Bluffton off the jump. So that should be a good one. I'm jealous of that one, but I'll be at Colleton, Hampton. I think you got to think Hampton's the team to beat in that when they're playing at home. They won 10-0 last year. They're ranked third in Class 2A. But, I was texting with Kinlock too, and he's excited, man. He likes his quarterback. We saw good stuff out of him last year. Sean Williams, he's back for another year. Good dual threat guy. He's got a running back he's excited about, and a defensive lineman he's excited about. So, he said work in progress, but they'll come ready to play. It should be a great environment. It's as good as it gets at Hampton County. And those teams, that's a great rivalry that they've kind of rekindled. So I think it'll be a great game. I got Hampton, but I wouldn't, be blown out of the water if Colleton pulled it off. I expect them to be a solid team this year, so it should be fun. Our Lowco Booster Club. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I would put Hampton as heavy favorites in this game, especially being at home, but Colleton with a little chip on their shoulder. Coach Kinlock did a great job last year. That's a up-and-coming program, but I think Hampton County, with the firepower that we've seen, especially offensively, obviously a different team from this year. It's going to be hard to replace. I mean, you can't really replace a guy like Zion Dobson. He was, good Lord, one of the better running backs we've ever seen come out of the Low Country. Yeah. And but you have, Singletary and a couple others who are looking to really cement their status as, prime guys to get touches and get a lot of it throughout this year. So I think Hampton County is able to flex them a bit here, but I think Colleton County can hang in for a little bit. I think Colleton County, the way that they have improved as a unit, and with Kinlock, returning for a team that I thought competed well in a tough region last year. Mm-hmm. I'm excited to see how they do on a road in a game like this, because Hampton County, another crowd that is absolutely electric, and you'll have to reconnect with your guy one time, who I hope he's had a good summer and is ready to get back to it as well.
Yeah, man. I was just talking about one time today at school. One of my students brought up Lowco, Malachi Green, and I said, "Oh yeah, I'm friends. His uncle's one of my best friends." So yeah, we had to talk about that. Nice. Lowco Booster Club. I can't wait to see One Time, by the way. I miss One Time bad. The Lowco Booster Club, they support us, so please support them. We got the Court Lifestyle Pros, Daniel and Debbie Court. Lowco natives with Charter One Realty, they want to bring you home to Hilton Head Island. Eagle Creations has promotional items and custom apparel, including your Lowco swag. Get your Lowco gear right here at Eagle Creations. You can go over to Argent Boulevard, check out their showroom. They got all kinds of cool stuff they can do over there. Laser engraved cups and stuff. Custom apparel, custom gift baskets, all kinds of stuff at Eagle Creations, where they do the Lowco swag. And Jay's Barbershop is the place to be in Ridgeland, whether you need your haircut or not. You can go in for the great conversation, come out looking stylish at Jay's Barbershop, turn left or right for tacos. Barefoot Floor Care of the Low Country. Floors so clean, your feet will thank you, from our buddy Chris Odom and his team, best in the biz. Hudson Seafood House on the docks, the presenting sponsor of Under the Bus and the place to go for brunch, cocktails, and dinner and sunsets on Hilton Head Island. And Hurricane Sports Cafe, going to be there live at 9:30 p.m. Friday night for Lowco Pigskin Live, doing the 2-minute drill, looking in on all the games around the Lowco. So looking forward to that. Thanks to all of our Booster Club sponsors. Wes, parting thoughts?
Yeah, I'm going to go back to Hilton Christian Academy. I'm not sure if I missed this when I was gone, but a huge national honor for not one, but two Hilton Christian Academy head coaches. Two of them have been named to NCSAA, National Christian School Athletic Association, National Coaches of the Year, which I'm guessing is a pretty sizable honor to win any national award. And these two certainly both deserve it. Of course, Rampaduzzi, who we talked about today on this show, who is looking to capture yet another Skeeza football title. He's won a couple of them over the last few years, including, I believe, 3 recently in the last 4 seasons. Just incredible. He has been a gold standard of Skeeza coaches and just does a great job adjusting and to struggles throughout the season. I think he's going to use that same mindset here as well. And just a great guy, certainly an animated guy out there in the sideline, but those kids really bind and play hard for him. And then joining him was the hero from last spring, J.W. Wilkerson of that baseball championship team. And another great story, taking over this program a couple years back and just captaining that squad onto an unforgettable season. Bringing Cody Brott to help anchor that team, and those Bird brothers were tremendous, and just a really fun team to cover and watch, and just an all-around great dude. That guy is a fun. I've run into him at so many different sporting events, Hilton Christian Academy, and loves talking with me about anything, and just outstanding guy, and even a better baseball coach. What a tremendous honor for both of those two, but especially Coach JW, who we've gotten to talk to a lot recently, and just did a phenomenal job with this Hilton Christian Academy baseball program.
Probably the first kid I covered in high school to win a National Coach of the Year award, if I had to put a finger on it. I can't think of any others. That's pretty cool. No, congrats to those guys. We did talk about it. Max, of course, had to gush about it because Hilton Christian. I got a little share and tell for you. Here we go. This is from North Carolina Central University, where our friend Zion Dobson is. And this is the coach talking about the running back room.
Rogers, last but not least. I know you got a freshman too, asking about him, but Rogers, what kind of a back is he? How much better can he be than what we're seeing out here right now?
The big thing with A.J. Rogers was, consistency and confidence. The coaches believe in him, but you got to believe in yourself. And I see him moving around a little better now. He's a physical downhill back. So, tell him, get the ball in your hands. Let's go downhill. One cut and let's get downhill. But very physical back. And he's compliments those other guys.
And this is a situation where
Zion.
you've got three instead of like when they say you got 3 quarterbacks, you don't have any quarterbacks. I mean, you got 3 running backs. I'd assume you run them in, rotate them out as need be per skills, right?
Definitely. And, we're going to play a bunch of backs. We're going to play a lot of guys. The best, especially early on, it's going to be so hot. So Zion Dobson, the freshman that we have in here, he's having a great camp as well. And, he's going to be the next best one that comes through here. But it's going to be a long season. The guys going to get banged up here and there. So, we feel as though we're comfortable with 4 really good running backs.
How important is it for you guys to establish that right?
the next best one that comes through here. I like that. I think Zion's on his way over there, man. I think he's gonna, I think about Jaden Jones last year at Morehouse, and he went in there kind of unheralded, kind of under the radar. Nobody really recruited him a ton, but that was where he wanted to be, and he ended up there. And he's kind of on the outside looking in at the start of the year. By the end, he was the guy toting the rock, and they're expecting him to be doing it this year. We've had a lot of guys who do that.
Right.
They're kind of, just kind of workhorses in college. And then they get there in college and they keep working, and
they turn to another gear,
paying off for them,
Yeah, especially once you get to this new level, college football, and you have that motivation. You get some good coaching at that next tier, and it just takes off for you. And even though Zion Dobson wasn't an absolute star at the high school level, what an opportunity for him to really early cement his claim as one of the guys who leads and takes over this backfield, because he has that mentality in him. We've all seen it. We've all seen his ability to take charge and his ability to work, and it all comes through that effort that's from behind the scenes. And he's such a humble guy. I love talking to him, and has that innate passion, which you obviously need to have. And I'm pumped to see how that guy does at the college level. We have so many. We definitely have to do a better job this year of keeping track of all of our Lowco studs at the college level, because
what if I told you I have a spreadsheet that has every D1? I've been through every D1, FBS, FCS, and D2 roster in America that was posted on their website, and I have a spreadsheet, and I'm going to keep checking back in on those schools that hadn't posted their rosters yet and finding more, because we're going to track them. We're going to know what they're doing, and we're going to have a tracker each week where we kind of keep up on who's doing what. So, because you're right, we do have to do a better job. Those guys and girls, not just football, but other sports.
Right.
They're out there repping us still, and it's awesome.
Doing soccer, getting ready to start volleyball. So it's all getting going.
Yeah, man. And I leave you with one time. Yeah, baby. Football season is back.
Heck yeah.
I'll be in the house of the
football season until the iconic Hurricane Walk on Friday.
Walk.
Yeah.
I'll be back in the house of the Hurricanes on Friday night. And then I'm intending to be in the other house of the Hurricanes the following Friday night for my Hurricanes.
Right.
Hardyville
against
Whale Branch.
That's right.
Whale Branch to Hardyville, the return.
Oh, man.
The return to DeVille. I can't wait, baby. Our kids are pumped up. It's going to be fun. Well, great show tonight, Wes. Really enjoyed talking with Coach Greg Langdale. Thanks so much to him for hopping on, and to all the coaches in the Lowco for what they do, putting their heart and soul into it for the kids. We appreciate you. That's the same reason we do it. So we appreciate everybody who supports us, all our sponsors, especially the OG sponsor, Mickelson Law Firm, back on for another year. We appreciate all their support over the years, and we'd love to have more crowded sponsor corral. Get on in here. We'd love to have you. Get in touch. We'll get you started. Thanks so much to all of you for showing up to listen or watch. We appreciate you, and we hope to see you back here tomorrow night, 9:30 p.m. for another edition of the LowcoSports Lowdown. Max Araj will be back, and we'll have more to talk about tomorrow night. We'll have Luke Dyer from USCB men's basketball, and we'll see if we can get somebody from May River girls golf on as well, assuming and hoping that they win the title out there in Blythewood. So thanks so much to everybody who was a part of it tonight. We'll see you tomorrow. For Wes Kerr, I'm Justin Jarrett. Till next time, go Lowco.
The LowcoSports Lowdown podcast is a production of Lowco Media LLC and LowcoSports.com, an independent media outlet providing grassroots local sports coverage in the South Carolina Lowcountry. We are sustained by community support from sponsors and patrons like you. Get in the game with a monthly pledge of $1 or more at patreon.com/LowcoSports to keep us going and growing. Go Lowco.